So I bought a few of these LED signs a while back when we were living in the old house, and they're really nifty. They got a little chain here that you can hang them from. They have an LED strip inside of this that lights up the acrylic plate, and of course you can turn them on and off with a little switch. Now, there's one problem with these, and that is that the cable is ridiculously short. So basically, that's the entire cable. It is ludicrously short, so basically the only way that you can display this is if you somehow have an outlet right next to where you want to hang this on the wall, or you have an extension cord running from the outlet all the way up. Where we used to live, I had these on the top shelf of my game display. So it was all the way at the top, and what I did was I had an extension cord running up the wall and then mounted on top of that shelf, so I can, put these here. But for this new office, I don't want to do that, so I am going to be modding these today, and I'm going to create some longer cords, basically, longer wires, so that they can actually go from the wall to the outlets. Okay, so I think the first thing I need to do is take this chain off. And I don't think I'll actually be using the chain this time around. So I'll just remove that. And just to show you the insides of this. It's a really simple design. So basically just have a little circuit board here. You got a wire going to the LED strip that's located on the top here. On and off switch, and then just a little power connector right here for the really short power cord. So basically all this is doing is basically taking the voltage and downsizing it to something that'll work for the light without blowing the fuse. So we're just going to put this to the side. We don't need that right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be extending this part of the cord. So I'll need to cut it first. And I could connect a new set on the top here. Actually, let me show you how that works. So if we just open this up, there's two small Phillips screws on the back. And that's the whole acrylic plate. So I'll put that to the side, and then you can see here this little LED strip here. Now, these are not RGB strips, meaning they can't change color. Basically, they have their set amperage, their set values here. So this is going to be red, and it's only going to be red. But you can see right here that it's just soldered onto that strip. So I could desolder this and then just make a new cable going all the way. But there's no reason to mess with this. Besides, this cable needs to be able to fit through that tiny little hole right there in order to get a nice fit inside of this. So the cable that I have isn't as thin as this. So I'll just leave that and then cut it in the middle and extend the middle. That way I also don't have to mess with this connector down here. So make your life easy, do as little messing around as you need. So that being said, I think we'll slide this back in. And then just push that down. Try to center it as best as we can. Just like that. There we go. And we might as well just reattach it. So it's going to be this way, so the screws are in the back. There we go. And I think that we will snip this here. Actually, no, we'll snip it further down. So we'll at least do that. And then we'll snip it down here on that side instead. The reason I wanted to do this is because the cable will have to follow next to the sign, going down a little bit, and I want this to be, you know, as seamless as possible. I don't want to have two different size of cords going down right next to the sign itself, where the focus is going to be. So now I need to strip this. So let's try about there, I think. So you can see here we have the positive and the negative. Now I don't think that my strippers will work on this, but let's see. There we go. So that should be enough lead for our purposes. So this is just an audio cable, standard audio cable. It is, I believe it's 22 gauge, could that be correct? 20 gauge. So I think these are even smaller than that. That's probably a 22 or a 24 or something like that. But they should work. So we will strip this. So I would say about here. There we go. And then we'll take the sleeves and strap them over. There we go. Not the best job in the world, but this was a very awkward angle to do that on, so you could see what I was doing. So now we'll just do that on the others as well. Some of you might have already noticed what I did wrong here was I put these two sleeves on, but I didn't put an actual sleeve here to cover this up, which means I'll either have to desolder that or go from the other end. So yeah, think ahead. There's probably a few of you are already screaming that I'm doing it wrong, but I probably am. Soldering is not my strong suit by any means, but it's still fun. I enjoy it, especially when you're taking something like this and adapting it so that you can use it in a different way. So I've decided to take another shrink tubing here because it was a little too close to the edge. And don't do as I did before with a lighter, that's stupid. I mean, you can, it's a lot better to use one of these. So don't do, you know, like I do. Try to set a good example here, so we'll do it the proper way. This is also a lot faster when you have one of these. Just like that. And then I have cut the cord to where I want it. So we can take that and strip. So just realized I forgot to put the sleeve on again. So now we'll have to do it the hard way. So disconnect that. Untie this. And then see if we can get a sleeve over that. Well, we dodged a bullet there. You know, prep work is really important. So there we go. So now that I have it attached, I'm gonna put it back together again, and we're gonna see if I've done everything correct. Most likely I haven't. So there you go. Put the cable back on. There. And then slide this in. Put the cover plate on. And then let's see if it lights up. It does not. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what I did wrong the first time, but I made new connections. Didn't seal them up just in case, but yeah, that's working now. So I'm not entirely sure what the problem was the first time, but let's wrap this up.